take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Yes, sir. Hey, yo, off top, shout out to Red Sings the Blues with the $5 super chat, man. He says, we will be interviewing next month, bro. Here's a tip for good work. Appreciate that, man. Word up, man, because I don't do this too often, so that's definitely encouragement. But yeah, man, like I said before I played the track, I said it's my honor, it's my pleasure to have the honorable, the incredible T.O.P, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Y'all, again, like I was saying, telling you backstage, man, I appreciate you for blessing my channel. You know what I mean? With the knowledge you about to bless everybody else with. Like, what I didn't tell you is, like, I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to do this. I mean, of course we're gonna do it like this, but I don't know if I wanted to do it with a crowd, you know what I'm saying, with an audience, you know what I mean? And I felt like, you know, the type of stuff we about to talk about is like some like backroom chatter, you know what I mean? Like on some like these dudes is pretty much flies on the wall, the way that the way we're gonna be talking. So yo, the first question I want to ask you, T.O.P, is, yo, how'd you even find my channel, man? Because the way I found you was you tagging me in like one of your posts, one of your IG posts, and it was you like showing like a clip from my YouTube, man. So before we get into like you know who you are, you know, we're gonna break everything down. Like how'd you even find my channel, fam?
Well, I found your channel through Afi.
Oh, okay. Shout out Afi Kingdom, man.
Yeah, shout out to Afi Kingdom. That's how I found your channel. Through my checking out his channel. You know, he was bigging you up and shit. So I went and checked out your channel. Okay. And what I have a tendency to do on my Instagram is when somebody say some real shit, no matter who say it, I'm gonna grab it and share it.
Facts.
Whether it's in video or text, or, you know, if it's something that I have to say myself.
Right. Right,
because that's really what people need. Because if you listen to people talk nowadays, you hear them say the phrase "my truth," but in reality, it's not really your truth. The truth is the truth. It's just the truth that you see from your point of view. You know, everybody ain't got the same point of view, but the truth is the truth, regardless.
Bruh.
You know, you could be where you at and I'm where I'm at, and we could be looking at the same thing. We looking from two different points of views, but the truth is the truth. Period. There's no my truth.
Yo, you hit on a good point right there. We're not even getting into it yet, but let me tap into that real quick. All right, yeah, you're right. I hear people nowadays talk about mostly females and dudes with feminine energy. And dudes with feminine energy that be like, well, that's my truth. I'm like, my truth? Like, I was like, yo, 2020 stay throwing curveballs at me, man. What do you mean, my truth? I thought facts was just facts. You know what I'm saying? And you made a great point about, you know, two people could be looking at the same thing and see from, you know, a different perspective. And the meme or the picture that I've seen is, you know, one person standing in one direction looking at the number 6. You know what I mean? And somebody looking on the opposite side of him and seeing the number 9. And both of them arguing like, I see 9, no, it's a 6. But y'all both right, though. Y'all just looking at it from different perspectives. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But all right, boom, yes, just so the people know, because I haven't really seen you on an interview, not even interview. This is not even an interview. We just, you know, chopping it up. But you know, let the people know who T.O.P is, man. like, you know what I mean? I believe you say you grew up in Jersey. Like, where'd you grow up? Like, what state you grew up in? Like, and what was like?
Yeah. Born and raised in New Jersey, and I live in North Carolina now. Okay. But you know, my father is originally from Henderson, North Carolina. So, you know, it turns out I'm part country boy at heart. You know, through my dad, and my mom's part of the family is from New Jersey, and we've been in New Jersey since the early 1900s. So,
word, wow,
yeah,
you got deep roots out there, no doubt.
Oh, so, yeah, very, very deep.
So, what was it like growing up around your time, man? Cause I be telling people, like the world we live in today, if you really think about it, is completely different from at least the world that I grew up in the 80s, 90s, whatever, even the 90s. You know what I mean? 2000 and
Yeah.
up has been like a 180. So, what was life growing up for you in Jersey at that time?
Well, I mean, a lot of the things that I see today, I seen then. It's just that today is more shit is just way wide open. You know,
Yeah,
so for example, lesbians existed when I was growing up. It's just now it's more socially accepted and
facts,
more wide out in the open. So, you know, they don't have to hide it, so to speak. But it's not really that much different. But I can say that because I've been here through the 80s, 90s, the early
2000,
2000s,
facts,
2010s, going into the 2020s.
facts,
But
facts.
when I was growing up, I think my generation, because I'm a Generation Xer, but I think my generation was probably the last generation that really got to hang out and be outside.
Facts.
You know, I mean,
Facts.
I'm pre-internet, pre-call waiting,
Free
pre-call
cell phone.
ID,
Free cell phone.
pre-cell phone,
Er,
pre 3 1/4
Pre
floppies,
beeper. How about that? Pre beeper.
pre-beeper,
Yeah,
pre-VHS.
yeah,
I remember when they first came out with cable TV.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
you
Me
know,
too. Wow, man.
I've gone through seeing all of this stuff from its inception and birth till now.
Mm,
You know, I probably was only one of the only guys or students in high school with a cell phone in
mm.
1992.
In
You know,
'92,
in 92 coming in there,
you had to,
flossing with, I was flossing with my mom's Nino Brown, nigga.
word up, man.
The big long joint with
I
the
was about to
long
say,
ass antenna.
I'm about to say, Saved by the Bell, the Zach phone. You know what I'm saying?
The
So,
Zach joint,
yeah,
yes,
yes, sir.
exactly.
No doubt, with the long antenna.
In 92.
No doubt, man.
So,
That's
you
flossing.
know,
Yo, people nowadays don't know, man. Cell phone in '92 is flossing, man. So,
yeah,
so you said,
now it's ubiquitous.
yeah, yeah. See, all right. This is going to be a good episode, man, because we have vocabulary in this on this panel today. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
with that being said, tell me what T.O.P was like in high school, man. Because a lot of dudes be saying like, well, you know, everybody goes through a sin phase, and everybody went through this at some point in their life, and dudes don't be realizing like that's not necessarily true. Like, you know what I mean? You don't
Yeah, it's
necessarily
like
have to. Go ahead.
it's like in this manosphere, red pill space shit. I hear a lot of guys say that they, you know, how they got introduced to the red pill was through heartbreak or female fuckery. And I keep telling guys, it's hard for me to identify with that because I never had to go through that. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I was around the type of females that put me on to shit about how females is gonna be. So, you know, that and combined with my own direct experience with females from my earliest, you know, interactions with them have always put me in the mindset that one, when a female coming to you, she always wants something. So it's your job to figure out what the fuck that is and to decide whether or not you want to give it to her.
That's a fact. That's a fact. See, dudes. See, the problem is dudes. I don't
So
know. You go ahead.
like I don't mean to cut you off, but
No, no,
like
no. Go ahead.
for example, I've been knowing since the first time the little girl showed me her pussy, you know what I'm saying, let me panty pump, that bitches was nasty. So it's not a surprise to me. You see what I'm
Right, right,
saying? When a chick say, "Oh, I like to, you know, have a dude do this or that to me," you know,
mm,
so it's no surprise to me. But if you ask most of these guys, they look at you like you from Mars or some
right.
shit because they don't have that experience or
Now,
that understanding.
I was gonna say, cause I was talking to Afi, shout out to Afi again. I was talking to Afi the other day, cause he was like, "Yo, I don't know how these dudes don't know this or they don't understand that." I said, "Yo, Feed, you gotta understand, like, you're not like everybody. I was like, yo, even if everybody went through the same exact experiences that you went through, that don't mean they observe the same thing. That don't mean they learn the same lesson from that same exact experience, going back to two people seeing the same thing. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
with that being said, I be telling my friends that. They be like, yo, why these dudes acting like this, or why he talking to me like that? He don't know who I am. I'm like, no, they don't know who you are. You keep thinking that people are as smart as you, or like I titled the thing, you think people are as intellectual as you. And just for clarification, the difference between being intelligent and being intellectual is someone who's intelligent. That on me real quick. Someone who's intelligent is someone who can attain knowledge. You know what I mean? Someone who could read a book. You know what I'm saying? Read that textbook, whatever the case may be. Answer a couple questions on the exam. You know what I'm saying? Get the right answers. Cool. That's what's up. Get your degree. Get your master's degree, whatever the case may be, PhD and all that. That's what's up. But the difference between someone who's intelligent versus someone who's intellectual is that someone who's intellectual can actually connect the dots. He can actually apply the knowledge that he's learned. He can actually build on the knowledge that he's learned. He or she doesn't necessarily need somebody to connect the dots for them, or to, like I said, to put things together. Like for example, like myself, right? I'm just gonna speak in general right now, right? I've been through med school, you know what I'm saying, biology degree and all that. And they teach us one thing. So the things that I learned in school, I asked myself, okay, like I said, I'm just speaking in general. The difference between a bacteria and a virus, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to say this real quick, is that a bacteria is way bigger than a virus, first of all. And the way to kill a virus and a bacteria is two completely different ways. I mean, you can use a little hand sanitizer, a little alcohol, kill that bacteria. You know what I mean? Wipe some bleach or Clorox, you kill that bacteria. When it comes to viruses, you need to take pills. Okay? Like HIV, you can't just, you know what I mean, just wash your hands all the time, or rub alcohol or you call it Purell on your pipe and smash, and ain't gonna be worried about getting the virus. So I say that to say you have doctors out here worried about getting the virus, wearing cloth masks, knowing that what they learned in school is that a virus can go straight through a cloth mask. That would be like trying to stop mosquitoes with a chain link fence. You know what I mean? So but anyway, like I said, I'm just speaking in general. So
let me ask you, if I'm correct, another difference between a virus and a bacteria is virus got its own DNA. Bacteria don't have DNA.
Yes. Okay. Another difference. Yes. See, this is why y'all dudes better be listening, man. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this up, but this is gonna be too deep. So anyway, yes, the bacteria it attacks the cell wall. It attaches to receptors and all that stuff. Whereas the virus, it tricks the cell wall into thinking that like I said, that it's like I said, I haven't been to school in a while, but it tricks the cell wall, and the virus is able to go into the cell and able to
replicate itself.
Yeah, there you go. Replicate itself, and then it gives you that DNA in that cell its own instructions or something like that. So and it allows and it basically controls that cell. So think about that. Something that can only stay on the outside fortress. For anybody who's not biological, you know what I'm saying, or scientific, look at it like it's like the inside of your cell is like, or your cell is a castle. You have a fortress. You know what I mean? Bacteria cannot even get past the fortress, whereas viruses can use a Trojan horse to get within your fortress and then manipulate the king to tell the king what the kingdom should be doing. Come on, that's two different defenses right there. You know what I'm saying? So I bring that up to say, when I see doctors not knowing this or not applying the knowledge that they learned in school, because we learn the same shit. You know what I mean? That lets me know, like, that's the difference between somebody who's intelligent, intellectual. Just because somebody can read a textbook and do well on exams doesn't mean that they'll do well in the field. Because like I said, I've been to med school and all that, and I work in the hospital. You'll find that the A students in med school are like the D- when it comes to surgery. And they know how to read the book, you know what I'm saying? They know, you know what I mean? But when she gets,
I mean, just look at all these women. I mean, all these women got college degrees, and they're very intelligent in the fields that they went to school for. But when you sit down and have a conversation with them, they're not very intellectual. They're not very intellectually. They don't have very much intellectual depth.
Hey, yo, let me get to these the comments. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you for joining. You know what I mean? Like, cause this is really like a, what can I say, like a fly on the wall segment. Cause me and T.O.P just chopping it up, man. Cause there's a few things he be saying like that I plan on talking about later on. But I'm like, nah, F that, man. We just, like I said, we just chopping. This ain't, we just freestyling. We gonna be like Opry and just keep it raw. But let me get to these chat real quick. We got Flexon. He says, is this girl at school that's dating a guy, but she constantly sending her friends to keep tabs on me? Why you think that, bro? I mean, she wants to make sure that you in check. You know what I mean? If you decided to have an agreement with her that you want to be monogamous, and you talking about at school, so you probably in college or high school, I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Like, why would you want to be monogamous at such a young age? You know what I mean? Why would you want to stick yourself with just one dude? One chick. Go ahead.
No, she out of order. First of all, I mean, she out of pocket. Why is she keeping tabs on you?
You are a man. You are a man. You. This is your world. She should, man. Yo, you have to understand. She needs to have the mentality that she is. It's a privilege
not to be annoying.
Yeah, that she can get fired. She has to know that real talk. She has. What I tell dudes, and I'm real talk, chicks are on forever probation with me. You understand? She never has a set spot because there's only another chick to take that spot. Even if you don't have 5, 6, or 7 other chicks to take that spot, you know what I'm saying? You definitely should have other chicks available to take that spot. But once you have that mentality, because that's what we're going to tap into basically this episode, is everything really comes down to your mental, man. When you get your mental down, and when she feels that energy, like when she, like you said, if she becomes nagging, and if she becomes annoying, you don't even gotta say much. You could just give her that look like, all right, I'm gonna holler at you later, yo. It ain't no attitude. You don't gotta curse her out, because guess what? You already got 3, 4, 5 other female friends anyway. So you ain't mad. You just like, all right, she just actually opened up my schedule for me to do a little something, you know, saying with my purpose before I go hang with this chick over here. But yeah, man. Shout out to Golden Child.
As a man, really, you can't lose when it comes to women. Cause if let's look at this example here. Let's say you got a chick right now, you got one, but you got the ability to go out and get a chick at will. If she act up and she leave, you just go get another one.
Yo,
it's really that simple.
See, Top, I just about to point that out. What you just said, I'm about to point out. The way you just said it was so matter-of-factly. But you gotta understand, a lot of these dudes, nah, bro. See, like I said, let me speak for myself. Could you said it? Now let me speak for myself. I don't recall ever having issues with females. Like I told somebody the other day in my job. The last time I remember my heart being broken was all I needed. First of all, let me say this real quick. Like I said, we're gonna be jumping back and forth. Hope you dudes keep up. I realize you are an observant man, and it's not something that you picked up one day. It seems like you've always been an observant person. You know what I mean? You watch, you learn, you know what I mean? You see little things. Seems like you have the gift of discernment. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of dudes lack, because they see this, like back to what we said, they see the same things we see, but they don't see the same things that we see. You know what I mean? Because I can see an interaction between two people, whether it be a relationship or whatever, and I'll see the underlying tone in it because I've studied people, I've studied relationships, I've studied psychology, I've studied sociology. You know what I mean? And in addition to everything I've studied, I've also experienced a lot of things. So back to being intellectual. So I'm combining what I've learned on paper with the stuff that I've experienced in life and put it together. Like they go that balance right there. That's because I've been telling people life is in the gray, really. It's not black and white. Because dudes be like, oh, like dudes be like, yo, cold approaching is beta. Or they be like, yo, mode 1 is the shit. It's like, well, it's kind of in the middle, man. It's everything's calibration. Everything is
like I yeah, like I was telling young Ro, you kind of gotta mix it all together at the same time, you know, and just to deal with that cliche that life is lived in the gray. That is true. That's actually where life takes place. But you have to have all experience. So you can't just get stuck in experiencing life in the gray part. Because the reality of the situation is the gray only exists because of the extreme being black and white. So you got to have some understanding of all three in order to have an understanding. Because if you only understand the gray, then you could be missing out what's going on the extremes. And if you only understand the extremes, you could be missing out what's going on in the gray. But if you understand all three, then your outlook is much bigger.
More complete. Yes, actually, you get a bigger, a wider perspective on life. You know what I'm saying? Because what I tell people is sometimes, you know what I mean, if you're too close to the picture, you don't know what the hell you're looking at. Sometimes you need a bird's eye view to be like, oh, that's what this is.
Yeah, you get too close to the picture and you miss out on some details.
Right. So when you talk about, you know what I'm saying, living, sometimes you gotta live on extremes. Like I agree with you 1000%, because what I say is, like, there's certain experiences that I had to have in my life for me to understand, like, oh, you know what? Like, for example, like, I've been homeless before. You know what I mean? No place to stay. You know, I'm saying, when I say homeless, it's not like I was a drug addict. It's not like I was, you know, kicked out of my home. You know what I mean? Because I always had a home to go to. But long story short, I was homeless for like 2.5 months when I was away at college. The landlord basically stole my deposit and had nowhere to go. You know what I mean? Had no rent at the next spot. And so I had the option of actually going back home to New York and just taking that whole semester off. But I was determined, man. I had the determination to become a doctor. So I was like, nah, man, I'm not taking the semester off, man. Plus, after 2 years of being on this campus, I got to be able to find somebody to hold me down in the in-between time. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say they can give me a room to stay in at that moment, but at least hold my clothes down. You know what I'm saying? Someplace I can take a shower at. So that's what I did. I was sleeping on in front of the dorm benches. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it wasn't no year or nothing like that, but me hitting that spot also gave me up. No, let me rewind. What I was saying was the first time I got my heart broken was when I was in 4th grade, man. Talking about being observant. She broke my heart in 4th grade. She dumped me for this white dude the only white dude in my class, and the reason why she got with him was because he had juvenile diabetes. Boom. You know? Okay, Top. So let me unpack that real quick. This is what I told myself in 4th grade.
That alone right there, that little nugget right there just kills the whole looks, money, status argument.
Come on.
I just wanted to point that out.
Come on, Top. I'm about to tell you. 4th grade. What is that? 4th grade is like, I think like 10 years old.
Something like that.
By 9-10 years old. When she did that, I said, hold on. So I done giving you flowers, done wrote poems, giving you candy for Valentine's Day. And you leave me because the dude has diabetes? How can I even beat that?
Some wild shit, man.
How can I even? So about 4th, 5th grade, I shed my tear, and I was like, nah, man. Fuck that. I mean, because I was already being selected by chicks. Like I said, I never really had issues with chicks. So that's when I started, you know, by 4th, 5th grade, I was on my shit like, nah, fuck that. Because remember, at this time, I was already focused on becoming a doctor 20, 30 years later. You know what I mean? So when that happened, I was like, all right, chicks are going to be a byproduct. Fuck that. They can't be a party no more. So
I've had situations with when I was coming up. I've had situations with young girls that I was interested in where I ended up not getting a girl. So I remember this one young girl I was interested in. I believe the bitch name was like Tamra or some shit like that. But my homeboy ended up fucking her. And how I've always been is just like, whatever, you know. I didn't get it. Oh, okay, and better luck next time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've never had that quote unquote heartbreak experience with chicks. And then, you know, my earliest sexual experience began when I was like maybe around like 8, almost 9 years old. So back in the days, we called it panty pumping. I don't know what they do. They actually fucking fucking nowadays. But we called it panty pumping or dry humping. So that was my earliest sexual experiences. So I say all this to say that this is a lot of the reason why I've never had problems with females, because I've also been, and I still get selected by females quite often. You understand what I'm saying? And I have never been in a situation with a female where she could have the opportunity to break my heart.
Real quick with breaking heart, it's really like I've heard people say, it's not really. I mean,
yeah.
And not only
they don't be ready. They don't be ready because they lack the information about how females move, and then a female do some female shit and is odd to you because you ain't expect it to happen.